Okay, this is my article summary vlog, Women in Horror Movies, Misogyny or Empowerment, and it is a summary of Final Girls and Terrible Youth, Transgression in 1980s Slasher Horror by Sarah Trinkansky. And I'm Casey Chumley. This is for Communication 601, Communication Fluency, and here we go. Alright, the summary contents are the introduction, review part 1, what are horror movies? Review Part 2, What are women's role in horror movies? Review Part 3, recurring themes that the final girl in particular has to go through, and the conclusion. In the introduction, we see what horror movies are a little bit and how they evolve from the early 70s into the 80s and 90s. The review gets a little more in-depth with definitions as time goes on. So what are horror movies? A horror movie is a film about a person, or typically in modern horror, a group of young people caught in a gruesome or terrifying situation. The multiple elements of the film, including the main character's point of view, the theme and the plot, the personalities of the characters, influence the ideas the audience takes away from the film. In the late 80s and 90s, a slasher horror movie centralizes around a group of young kids being stalked by a threat, and not all survive it. So what are women's role in them? Well, she can, according to this article, be a victim who dies or is saved by the male character and never fights back. The male gaze who is sexually provocative, and after she's pretty much shown off for the audience, she quickly dies. And the final girl, which this article mostly centers on. She's considered a good girl, and she does fight back whenever it's necessary. So recurring themes, which I find to be the most interesting part within Trinkansky's article, is that the final girl is often unavailable to relationships. She doesn't get into anything sexual, and if she is in a relationship, she's very reluctant in it. She's always pushing the guy back. In Hellraiser, Kirsty is never really, she doesn't talk to her boyfriend that much. In several other films, she is never the one who's in an intimate relationship, and even if she does have a boyfriend, he's not there a lot. She doesn't have a positive male figure. A lot of the fathers, psychiatrists, doctors who are male turn their backs on them very, very quickly. And the stereotype that Trinkansky points out within these articles are males attempt to dominate over females, while adults try to dominate over the youth. And the final girl, the thing that keeps her from being a victim is that she always fights back. Laurie Strode from Halloween always runs from her until the end, where she finally matches Michael Myers in his violence. And that's she doesn't really get free until she settles on their level. So the conclusion is, as we see, a woman's role in a horror movie is usually determined by how she acts in the role. If a woman is deemed as good or useful by society's standards, she will live. And that's pretty much what Trinkansky's article sums up for, is that you have to work hard and act good, or else you pretty much die if society deems you unworthy. And so far, that's all I have. Thank you for checking out this vlog, and I will see you later.